Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2017 horror sequel, The Houses October Built 2. A film that is written by Zach Andrews and Bobby Rowe and directed by Bobby Rowe, and they both appear in the film as they did the first film. Now, the first film I watched for the first time and reviewed on the channel in 2017, so if you want to check out my review for the first film, it's on the channel. And I reviewed that in 2017, and I thought the first film was okay. I actually watched my review back last night while preparing for this review, and yeah, I quite enjoyed the film from what I remember, but I didn't think it was anything particularly special. Now, I'm a big fan of found footage horror films, and the first film you could certainly class as found footage, whereas the second one is more, it's not really found footage, not in the same way as the first one anyway, but at a stretch you could describe it as that. And the first film was a bit of an unusual transition to the cinema. It was made on a small budget, and the people wanting to distribute it really liked it, but they wanted certain things filming, and then they decided to pay them and to refilm the whole movie. So that's what they did. They basically remade the whole movie from scratch with a bigger budget on the first film. And this film follows pretty much exactly on from the first film. Now, if you remember what happened at the end of the first film, they were, if you like, attacked by the Blue Skeleton Halloween group, I suppose, and put in coffins, etc. And Brandy Schaefer, who's now called Coffin Girl, she's like renowned for being in this coffin and stuff, and she's become a bit of a celebrity, as has this group, because they were like rescued by the police at the end of at the beginning of this movie, the end of the first film. And then they are invited by everybody the following Halloween, pretty much. They're invited by everybody across the states to come and endorse their haunted houses or Halloween shows or whatever you want to call them. But the only way they'll do it is if Brandy comes with them, and she doesn't want anything to do with them this time because of what happened. She was scarred after being buried alive, etc. after the first one. But they managed to convince her, and they all head out on the road again. And this time the difference is they are trying out these haunted houses and shows and what have you, and rating them. I know, in the hope that these shows will gain exposure through the celebrity status of these guys. And all the way through, they keep being told by these people at these shows, if they're wanting to find the most extreme ones, they need to seek out Hellbent. And they keep hearing this over and over and over again. However, unaware to this group, they are being secretly filmed by the Blue Skeleton group, I believe they're called, who harassed them in the first one, and they may have sinister plans for this group by the end of the film. Right, that's pretty much the film. And if you've seen the first film and you can remember the first film, what I've described there is essentially the first film. That is my biggest problem with this film. It's the first film all over again, just with a slightly different perspective, I suppose. Not as found footage heavy, not as many interviews, but the beats are the same, it feels the same. The ending, which in the first film really disappointed me, the ending, I quite let down by that ending, and I'm sorry, but I felt duped again by this ending. There was a point when the ending was happening to this film, and I thought, finally, they're giving me what I want. They're giving the audience what they want, and it was frightening and brutal. And then they give you a swift kick right in the nards, and I think they think they're being clever with the ending that they give here, but it's no cleverer than the ending they gave in the first one, really. I felt a bit duped. So yeah, I just wasn't enamoured with this film. I don't know if it, like the first one, it didn't really scare me, because these are like real shows and things like that, and some of them are quite stylish and some of them are quite creative, and I suppose if I was there in person and experienced some of these shows, I'd probably find some of them quite frightening, but I found some of them pretty tame. And they took part in like this huge zombie thing in one city where there's this huge zombie eating contest and a zombie marathon and all this kind of stuff, and they were filming it all, and it all looked fun and stuff, but it made the film feel a little bit disjointed. It didn't have as big a focus, I don't think, as the first film, and it didn't feel as sinister at times as the first film. And then when the ending kicked in, it felt more sinister than the first film, so they kind of reversed it a little bit. But it's watchable, and I would say that if you're a big fan of the first one and you haven't seen the second one yet, you're going to enjoy the second one. From my perspective, the way I feel about the sequel compared to the first one is it's essentially the same film. Very, very similar beats, very little new creativity added to it. It just kind of felt the same. So from that perspective, when I checked my review last night for the score I gave for the first one, I gave the first film a 6 out of 10. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do, I think, with the second one. I'm going to give the second one 6 out of 10. It's certainly watchable. It just doesn't fully commit, I don't think, to the horror aspects for it to call it a full-on horror. It's just not particularly frightening, and it feels like being duped when you watch the film in a lot of aspects. So yeah, that's my review for The Houses October Built 2. Both films didn't really do it for me, but they are certainly watchable, and if you enjoy the first one, you're probably going to enjoy the second one. So I hope you found this review useful. If you did, don't forget to click the like button, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for the support, everybody. I'll see you next time on Screen Stars.